This year, let's not say we're going back to school, work, or our social lives. Let's embrace the lessons of this past year and move forward instead. Kohl's has just what you need to do it in style. For kids, there's activewear and backpacks from top brands like Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, and more. And for the grown-ups, there's a beauty must-haves and stylish accessories to help you move forward to your new normal. Go ahead. Find it at Kohl's and Kohls.com today.
Switching to Geico is a good idea, especially when you consider everything.
First off, Geico makes it easy to switch. They have licensed agents available 24/7 online or over the phone.
But if it's so easy, you might start thinking everything is easy, even big wave surfing. And it's not. It's actually quite difficult.
Well, if you switch to Geico, you could save hundreds on car insurance. And you could keep saving by bundling your motorcycle, boat, and RV, plus your home or renter's insurance.
But saving money might lead you to make some questionable purchases, like a 20-foot feather boa. And do you know how hard it is to clean a 20-foot feather boa?
Well, they do have an industry-leading mobile app you can use to pay your bill, file and manage a claim, or add a new driver.
But when life gets a little easier, it makes you too confident, and you start calling everyone Ace. And you're better than that.
Well, Geico has a 97% customer satisfaction rating and has been saving people money for 85 years. It's hard to beat that.
But you're right.
Switch to Geico. It's obviously a good idea.
Hello, my friends. I am so excited to announce the new season of Holy Human with me, Leanne Rhymes. It's a podcast dedicated to helping us all achieve a fuller sense of inner peace, healing, and happiness individually and together. And I would love for you to join me. We'll get even more personal on the second season of Holy Human, launching this July 19th. Listen and follow on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Thanks for listening to the Odd Couple podcast. Be sure to catch us live every weekday from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern, 4 to 7 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. Find your local station for the Odd Couple at foxsportsradio.com or stream us live every day on the iHeartRadio app by searching FSR.
Now let's get this party started.
You're listening to Fox Sports Radio.
Oh, yeah. It is the Odd Couple. I'm Chris Broussard alongside my partner, Rob Parker. And we're coming to you live from the Farmers Insurance Fox Sports Radio studios.
We'll do it live.
Call 1-888-FARMERS to switch your car insurance and save a boatload. To be exact, an average of $470 a year on your car insurance. That's a lot of money for a quick phone call. But that's the average national savings per year based on survey data from July to December 2020.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Take that for data.
Take it! It is NBA trade deadline Thursday, and boy, do we have a lot to talk about. No super blockbuster moves, but there could have been one. And we're going to get into that in a few moments, myself and my partner, Rob Parker. What's up, man? How are you?
Doing great. What's happening? How are you, Mr. Broussard?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Lots to get into, and I'm looking forward to it. So let's not waste any time. We'll be here the next 3 hours, so keep it locked on Fox Sports Radio, the iHeartRadio app, or SiriusXM Channel 83. We got Rick Bucher, FS1 NBA analyst, coming up at the bottom of the hour to talk shop. And, of course, the Odd Couple crew is in full effect on this TV theme song Thursday. Alex Teichert, the DJ Alex the vegan on the ones and the twos. Super producer Rob G running things. And on the updates, our man David Gascon II. All right, Rob, let's get to it. And Rob G is getting on my last nerve, Rob, because he is on board. He thinks he's so smart. He started watching basketball 10 years ago, and he thinks he knows all things Lakers, Rob. The Lakers were in the hunt. I'm just going to paint the scene. The Lakers were in the hunt, reportedly, for Kyle Lowry. They were willing to offer Dennis Schroeder, which is a lot, and KCP, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, their best three-point shooter, even though he only takes 3 a game. But they wouldn't give up Talen Horton-Tucker, the second-year, 20-year-old player who seems to be a superstar in some Lakers people's eyes, because they wouldn't give him up. And Rob G is on board with that. But I'm going to say this, Rob. They should have given him up. Now, that 3 players for one, that's a lot. I mean, we're not talking about a superstar in Kyle Lowry. So maybe you get somebody else to come back from Toronto, fill out your bench. But my point is this. Talen Horton-Tucker should not have kept you from getting Kyle Lowry. And I'll go into more reasons why. But where are you at on this? Because this was the big deal that didn't happen.
I think the Lakers, I don't get where they're going. I think that they know that the way they're constructed now, they're going to have a hard time winning. Even if LeBron and AD come back, it's going to be difficult. And to be able to add a player like Lowry to the mix would have been like, okay, we're in for this one. And as the clock keeps ticking on LeBron, I don't, worried about a player who's 10th, 11th in minutes played on the team, as if
18 minutes a game, Rob.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, LeBron is 36, year 18, and now is going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks with this injury. And you're worried about next season or the season after that? Like, I just don't. I'm out on the future. If I got a chance to win today, I'll win today. We talked about it with the Boston Celtics with all the lottery picks. I mean, all the picks he had. Remember Danny Ainge hoarding picks? What has it gotten him, Chris? It hasn't gotten him anything. So I don't buy into that. And the same thing I remember before. I think the first time with, if I'm right, with Anthony Davis, they didn't want to give up Kyle Kuzma. Oh my God, anybody but Kyle Kuzma. Right. Come on, dude. And I'm not saying he's a good player, Chris, but really, like you couldn't part with him. Every big star has been traded. I mean, who hasn't been traded in sports? To think that you can't go on with a guy who's not even playing, I just don't get it. So I think the Lakers lost today. If that's true and they could have pulled the trigger to shore up where they are, I think they made a mistake.
I totally agree. And look, I like Talen Horton-Tucker. I mean, he's got some ability. But really, I mean, to your point, it is win now, baby. This ain't about, he won't be ready. Like, I'm not convinced he's going to be a star. If I had to bet, I would bet he won't. And I wouldn't hesitate to bet he won't. But if he does become a star, it's going to be 3 years from now. And you hit it on the head, Rob. LeBron James, this is the second year in 3 that he's gotten hurt. A serious injury. And we know LeBron keeps himself in impeccable shape. And yet, he has been hurt 2 of the last 3 years. And we'll see when he comes back. I'm betting he comes back at the top of his game. When he came back 2 years ago, he wasn't at the top of his game. And so my point is, we don't know if LeBron's going to be healthy all next year. So every chance you get with him, you go for the gusto. You go for the ring. You go for the trophy. This is not about, you've already given up all-stars. You've given up better players than THT. Remember Julius Randle? He looking pretty good now in New York.
Gave him up.
Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball's playing well. Josh Hart is a great role player.
You have to give to get, Chris.
Yes.
That's what a trade is. I know a fan's trade is to trade the last 4 guys on the bench for a star. That ain't the reality of it. You remember when the Nets got Harden and they gave up some pieces that people said, LeVert and those. I don't know if I would want to give those guys up. They gave them up. That's how you make a trade.
And people question, where's their bench?
Exactly. Anybody asking about the bench now?
Right.
Not.
Right. The only way this potentially makes sense to me is if they know LeBron and or AD is not going to be able to get back at full health this year. Because Lowry would very good chance he'd be a rental. He's a free agent in the summer. He made $30 million this year.
You don't
Are
even
you
care,
going to
Chris.
pay
You're
him
trying to
keep
win.
him?
So
but,
what?
But my point is, if
right.
you know LeBron,
I got you on that.
and I don't think this is the case, but I'm just saying it's the only way it can make sense is if you know LeBron's not going to be able to come back as himself, and we can't win it. Lowry ain't making you win it if LeBron's not himself.
Right, I get that. That makes sense. That makes sense. But I'm saying, right, yeah, if that's the case. But I'm saying, like, whatever his deal is or whatever, you don't care about that. You're looking at the Brooklyn Nets, what they got going. The Clippers got better today, Chris. I think they did, right?
They did.
So you're looking around.
They did. Yep.
They got better.
Denver
What'd
got
you say
better.
yesterday? You
Denver
talked about
got
yesterday that the Clippers needed a point guard. You just mentioned that yesterday. So I'm just saying, when you start to look around and people around you got better, and the team that ultimately you'll probably have to face in order to win a championship is already good and only going to get better when they get Kevin Durant. That's going to be their X factor. They're going to get better than they are. How in the world could you not try to get better? Doesn't make sense.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, and they just, this week, Brooklyn moved ahead of the Lakers as the favorites. I think, Rob, and I don't know this for a fact, I would have probably kept Brooklyn, but it would have been close. It could have been a pick 'em in my mind. If they had traded for Kyle Lowry, I don't doubt that Fox Bet and these other, sites would have made the Lakers the favorite again, assuming they get LeBron and AD back. And so you said it, even if you get through the West, do you match up with Brooklyn?
Right. That's what you have to look at, Chris. I understand the West is fine and then you got to get there first, but ultimately it's not about getting to the finals, right? It's not. If you're LeBron.
He's been to 10, and he don't want to lose anymore. And so, look, here's the thing about THT for Rob G and all the sycophants out there. THT is 20 years old, okay? Second-round draft pick, 46th overall. So let's stop acting like we're talking about Derrick Rose out of Memphis. All right? Let's just cut that noise. He averages 18 minutes a game. You got a Wesley Matthews at the 2 guard who's not playing well. You got an Alex Caruso who's a so-so player. I mean, I know his analytics look nice. He's so-so. He's real good with LeBron, but everybody's real good with LeBron. And THT's not getting minutes over them. He's a 6'4" 2 guard, folks. He ain't 6'8". He ain't 6'9". He's a 6'4" 2 guard playing 18 minutes a game who shoots 25% from 3.
Stop it. Exactly. What are you protecting?
There's a 3-point shooting league now. And he don't have the court vision. He's not going to be a poor man's LeBron, driving at will, running the offense and creating for everybody else. Again, he's a nice young player. Probably won't be a star. You excited because he put up numbers in the preseason? Really? Really? Because since LeBron's been out and he got an opportunity, right? This is what they talked about. Oh, this is a chance for the bench guys to shine.
It's shine time, right? Shine time. Here you go. Get in there. Go ahead.
Here's
you got an open opportunity.
Rob. Here's his shine. Against New Orleans in a rout, he had 5 points. Against Phoenix in a rout, he shot 6 for 16. Against Atlanta in a loss, 4 for 12. I mean, am I missing something? Come on, Lakers. Now, he's represented by Clutch, Rich Paul, LeBron, that LeBron's guy and all that. I don't know if that had anything to do with it or not. I don't think so. I mean, looking at their history, they have not. They got a lot of Clutch guys on the Lakers, obviously. but they have not let that typically stand in the way of making a good deal. So I'm not going to say that's the reason, but you just got to put it out there as a factor or as a potential factor. But I'm sorry. And I just, come on. Should have made the move. Kyle Lowry could have been the difference. Now, I'm not writing them off completely, but Kyle Lowry makes them a lot better route. No question about it. And you said it. You got to give to get.
And Antonio Daniels, the arms race, Chris. We keep talking about it.
There it is.
You got 2, they got 3. That's the facts. Am I right?
Yep. Absolutely. 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 All right, 877-99 on Fox. Rob G thinks we're bugging. What say you? Your turn to win. Should the Lakers have been willing to give up Talen Horton-Tucker and his 8 points a game to get Kyle Lowry? We'll continue the conversation with you next. It's the Odd Couple, Chris and Rob, Fox Sports Radio.
Fox Sports Radio has the best sports talk lineup in the nation. Catch all of our shows at foxsportsradio.com. And within the iHeartRadio app, search FSR to listen live.
What's up, everyone? It's me, 3-time NFL All-Pro Sean Merriman, and I have a new sports podcast called the Lights Out Podcast with Sean Merriman. This podcast is special to me as I get a chance to talk to some of the best who've ever done it on the field or the track. So whether it's talking to a Super Bowl champion or a NASCAR Cup Series champion, the Lights Out Podcast will bring it to you the only way I know how to. I'm giving you the best insight from the best who's ever done it. Listen to Lights Out with Sean Merriman on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcast.
Starbucks Cold Brew. There's nothing like it, especially come summer when you're bouncing from bike rides to beach trips to backyard barbecues. It's the bold, smooth, ice-cold coffee pick-me-up that powers your summer day. Find your happy place at Starbucks. Order ahead on the app.
Have you ever been on an off-road adventure? One where you have to travel highways, dirt roads, and maybe even climb a few rocks? If this is the type of adventure you're seeking this year, the 2021 Ford Bronco Sport is the SUV that'll get you there. This 4x4 is perfect for any trip and has 7 available GOAT modes, as in go over any type of terrain. The terrain management system includes 5 standard GOAT modes: sand, slippery, sport, eco, and normal. So you can get wherever you need to go and explore beyond the paved path. It was created to help make your journeys easy, comfortable, and possible. It features a high-performance off-road stability suspension system, available off-road capabilities, and available advanced 4x4 with a twin-clutch rear drive unit. You can choose from multiple exterior colors and add-ons like an interior bike rack or rooftop tent to personalize your SUV to fit all of your adventure needs. The 2021 Ford Bronco Sport is your gateway to the great outdoors. Book your next adventure and check out the 2021 Ford Bronco Sport. Built wild, built Ford proud.
New hot and iced Sunrise Batch Coffee from Dunkin'. A bright and balanced, full-bodied blend brewed so you can get summering from sunrise to sunset. And even after that, because that's when you can show off those string lights you hung in the backyard. Or rehung. Enjoy a medium, hot or iced Sunrise Batch Coffee for $2. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer. Exclusions apply.
All right, it is a TV theme song Thursday. We are the Odd Couple coming to you live from the Farmers Insurance Fox Sports Radio studios. Call Farmers today for a quote. Also, we're brought to you by AutoZone, which has more ways for you to start your job your way. That means getting what you need fast because, some jobs just can't wait. That's why AutoZone offers free same-day store pickup. And also, they got free next-day delivery on more than 100,000 parts. Visit AutoZone.com today to start your job fast. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Alex, great start to a TV theme song Thursday. And you know what? That's going to go out to my trainer, David, who treated me to lunch today at Laguna Beach. And,
what a guy.
We started out as just client and, trainer or whatever. And we're friends now. He worked out with me, got me in shape. He's a great guy. And
when's the wedding,
Rob?
Song.
You're in shape?
No wedding. I said he got I said he got me in shape.
It's just funny how you set that up.
All right.
Right? I did. And you got to admit, he got me in shape.
He stretched you out.
Did he? No, I didn't say all that.
Different positions.
Are you all right, Chris?
out.
What are you talking about?
I'm just saying, no.
He sounds like a wonderful guy, Rob. I'm happy.
Stretch, yeah.
But wait a minute. Would you admit he did a great Alex, you saw me. Right?
I'm just saying, man. He knows how to get you
does
right.
Does Rob look that good? Obviously, I haven't seen you in a year.
I'm talking
person.
about prior.
You looking
it's the
that
same
good?
guy. It's the same guy. I'm talking about before the pandemic. That's who I was working with before.
I mean, you were all right. You talking like you were Shannon Sharp or something.
Man, if I put my
Greg
abs
Jennings.
on the net. All right, let's do it.
All right, 877-99 on Fox. Did the Lakers blow it, as Rob and I suggested, by not putting THT in the trade?
In the trade.
By not making it dynamite. Turning THT into TNT and blowing it up. How's
Very
that?
nice. Albert in Riverside. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Albert?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Doing
Good, man. How are you?
Doing good. All right, look, no way, no how am I trading THT and Dennis Schroeder for a 35-year-old Kyle Lowry. He's going to be a free agent after this season. No way.
Why not?
Are you not trying to win this year? You like the team the way it is?
I do, but we need a big man more than the guard. Like we have depth already. We're good.
You're shooting. You're 22nd in the league in three-point percentage.
Yes.
You happy
can't
with
win
that?
in this league.
Okay, but last year they were not a good shooting team either. But they won.
They got hot in the bubble, though. Look at those games, those playoff games. They got hot.
That's true, but the Lakers always win with big ball, and they won with big ball.
Okay. I mean, look, if they get Andre Drummond, that'll help. But you could have had Lowry and Drummond.
Exactly.
THT
and when you look at
won't
Brooklyn,
be playing much in the playoffs.
It just doesn't make sense to hold on to somebody. Not in this day and age, Chris.
No,
I'm
and not
serious.
when you're the Lakers, right? When you have an older LeBron James.
You're trying to win. Hey,
Yes.
Tony in D.C., you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Tony?
Stop it. Rob G, stop it. As president of the Rob Parker Poo-Poo Club, I am poo-pooing Rob G once again. Mind you, this is the same man that 2 years ago said Magic Johnson was overrated, and because of that, my pastor fell off the wagon and started drinking again. Chris Broussard, you hit the nail on the head. Rob G should be suspended with pay for at least a week for that take. The eighth guy on the bench, are you kidding me, Rob G? Are you kidding for a guy that probably won't be in with the Lakers in a couple of years anyway? That's all I got to say. You fellas have a nice weekend. Stop
Nice
it.
call.
Nice job.
Nice call.
Tony in D.C.
Why am I getting
Excellent
called?
job.
I haven't said anything on the
You're
radio,
getting
and people
trashed.
are bringing
You're
me
getting
up like I
trashed.
said
Because
anything.
we let them know your garbage take. You thought that was hot on straight fire with Jason McIntyre.
I haven't
it's
even-
fine for that.
I haven't
never
even
missed
done
that.
that.
I never
podcast.
missed
on
that
the Odd Couple.
podcast.
Rob, you've been on it
We
twice.
bring the
Why are you
truth.
lying?
You
I
can
know.
throw out those hot takes on that little platform. But here, people hearing you, and they're calling you out,
Yeah,
Rob.
you guys
G.
talking about the idea of Kyle Lowry, like he didn't flame out of the playoffs every year till Kawhi got there.
But do you like
was
where the
playing
team is
against
now,
LeBron.
though, Rob G? You happy with the
Look,
Lakers now?
For one, before the guys
He's
got
not
hurt,
a superstar.
Before LeBron and AD got hurt, they were the prohibitive favorites to win the title.
You still think they are?
Brooklyn
even
was becoming
even
that's 'cause
above
Brooklyn was rounded
even
in the shape.
above the Brooklyn Nets, who you guys have
Brooklyn
been
was
ball
rounded in the
watching
shape.
for the
People
last
were
2.5
still
weeks.
wondering.
But wait a minute, but there's no KD, Rob G. Be
No,
fair.
even
Come
when they
on.
had them
They
all.
won-
Nobody was going
they
to
won
make them the
16 out of
favorites after 10
18.
games.
Are you kidding? 16
When the
out of
Lakers
18.
were healthy, they were the favorite, even over the healthy Brooklyn Nets team.
No, they weren't.
So
I should have
yes, they
never
were.
let you off
Rob,
your basketball
you
ban.
go to MGM Grand 2 times a month. You think you would know how to look at the sportsbook board that says the Lakers were the favorites?
But you know
I
I'm
should
not
have
there
never
for that.
lifted
Oh, I'm
your
sorry.
ban on talking basketball, Rob G.
Let's go to
I should have never done that.
Mark in Sacramento. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio.
Y'all
What's
made a
going on,
little deal
gentlemen?
today.
What's
The
going on,
Kings,
gentlemen?
They made a little lateral move.
What's happening?
Hey, real quick, I don't know if THT is worth holding on to or not to get a 35-year-old Lowry. I don't know, but that's not the problem. You guys hit the problem with the Lakers, and I've been watching since that bad basketball back in December when Chris was on vacation, and me and Rob talked about how bad the basketball was, and I told Rob, this is why I watch right now, and I'll tell you what their problem is. When they let go of McGee and Howard, they let go of that powerful rebounding and shot blocking they had, and now they're being attacked like all these teams just going right down the middle. I watched Oklahoma City.
Mark,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Hold
on. They still got the number one defense in the league.
They're getting attacked inside.
They can't be getting attacked that much if they got the number one defense in the league.
No, they do for shooting. But guys are driving, getting to the line.
No, their defensive efficiency is number one in the league. They've been winning with defense. Their offense is what needs help. And if they get Drummond, that'll help with the rebounding. And he'll give you a little bit of rim protection just because he's a big guy. So, all right, 877-99 on Fox. We'll get into this with Rick Bucher. It'll be interesting to hear what he thinks. But first,
be sure to catch live editions of The Odd Couple with Chris Broussard and Rob Parker. Weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio and the iHeartRadio app.
He's an FS1 NBA analyst, a friend for both of us for decades. And I can't wait to get his take on what Rob and I were just talking about. We welcome in Rick Bucher. What's up, man? How are you?
What's up, Rick?
I'm doing well, gentlemen. This was a fun day, wasn't it?
It was fun for what happened and what didn't. And here's where we were at, Rob or Rick. We were saying that the Lakers should have been willing to give up Talen Horton-Tucker to get Kyle Lowry. Where are you at on that? You agree with us?
Yeah, if you're going to go that direction, if you're going to put Dennis Schroeder's name out on the street, then go ahead and pull the trigger, because now you have a guy that you've got to negotiate a deal with, a guy who's been traded once, a guy who, in my estimation, is the one piece that you got last summer that's actually worked out successfully.
Right. Totally.
If you decided for some reason that he's not championship caliber and you go get a guy who is a proven champion, then go ahead and do it, but don't half-step it and put his name and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope's names out there and then say, we don't. We're good. I mean,
great point.
I feel as if you believed in the continuity of your team and you already made enough changes last summer, then okay, be cool and let everybody know, we believe in you. We can get this done. They didn't do that. They made it seem as if, we might not have enough, and let's if we can go get it, great. And it's one thing if you don't get so you don't get Lowry, all right? What's your plan B? If you're going to go that direction, go all out. I liked what Pat Riley did. He obviously was going after Kyle Lowry. The price was too high, and he had a plan B. Let's go get Oladipo. It's less of a cost, but we still made a move and we still added something, and you're not hurting anybody's feelings. So I feel like the Lakers half-stepped, and meanwhile you got three teams in Denver, Portland, and the Clippers, all of whom improved. And so I think that the Lakers at the end of the day hurt themselves, and it was a self-inflicted wound at the trade deadline.
Let's go to the Clippers, Rick, because I'm with you. I think the Clippers helped themselves getting a seasoned guy who helped the Lakers last year, who played big in the playoffs for them, and getting Rondo and giving up Lou Williams. How much do you like this?
I love it. And I thought that they just needed to make a statement going back to the bubble last year that they needed to trade Lou Williams. What he's demonstrated is he's a great regular season performer, but when we look in awe at the off-balance shots that he takes and shoots them from anywhere, that's exciting and it's entertaining and it can be effective during the regular season. That doesn't work during the playoffs. You need a certain degree of consistency and efficiency that Lou Williams has just not demonstrated that he has. And I felt like that continued on into this season. the fact that they didn't break the bank to keep Montrezl Harrell was a statement, but I didn't think that they went far enough, and that just addition by subtraction, you needed to move on from Lou. You had a chance of going for a championship. He does the lemon pepper deal. He lets you know that his head wasn't in the right place. If you really
those are good lemon pepper wings, Rick. I gotta admit. I'm sorry.
and would you trade them for a championship? That is the question. Would
I
you?
think he was trying to. I think Rick. I think he was trying to. He was trying to have his lemon pepper wings and a championship too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you know what? And you can't have both. You can't serve both masters. I mean, honestly, if I'm them, I'm putting a little Larry O'Brien trophy logo on those lemon pepper wings, because that's essentially that's the price, or at least it was for the Clippers. But look, Rajon Rondo, I don't know if he can replicate what he did last year. But if you're asking me which guy I have more faith in being able to deliver in the postseason, it's without question playoff Rondo. So
Rick,
I think it's a good move.
I've had the two LA teams as my best teams in the West. I mean, forget the regular season records. The Clippers and Lakers have been my favorites in the West. Does Denver move in? I don't know where you're at on that, but does Denver move into that group now with the moves they made today?
Here's the problem. I don't really know who or what Aaron Gordon is as a playoff performer, and I'm not. I gotta see how that's going to work with Nikola Jokic and the style that he plays and being a primary ball handler, and the fact that now they're trying to kind of work out how much of a role Murray is going to have versus what Jokic has. In the bubble it was all Murray, and then from the beginning of the season it had become the Jokic show. Right. And now it seems like they're trying to balance those two. Like, where does Aaron Gordon fit into the equation? I know that the odds have measured that Aaron Gordon is some huge get by Denver. I guess if you're looking for a guy who can match up with the best threes, the best point forwards in the Western Conference, and you're saying Aaron Gordon can defend LeBron and Kawhi or Paul George or Doncic, I would say, okay, if that's true, but I've never seen Aaron Gordon in that kind of light from a defensive standpoint. So I need to see it first. It doesn't wow me. I like teams that are aggressive. I'm going to trust that they know what they needed. But I haven't put Aaron Gordon in that category enough to say he's the missing piece for the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Did we, Chris? Okay, yeah.
No, he's in.
Yeah. Who else was anybody else, Rick, as far as winners or losers today? I know the Knicks had talked about a couple of big name players, right? Possibly getting involved. Nothing. They didn't go that route. I know they made a couple of smaller moves. Anybody else big winner or loser?
I really like what the Chicago Bulls did. I mean, they remade themselves. It looked as if they were clearing themselves of any of the vestiges of Gar Hurd. Arturas Karnisovas obviously loves European bigs. Can't imagine why that is. It's like they built the United Nations there. Right. I thought it was a smart move. I was big when they drafted Wendell Carter Jr. He has not been able to stay healthy. He's a quality rebounder, but he hasn't taken that next step as an offensive player. I thought that was a really, really good move. Vucevic is obviously top dollar, but if you're trying to let Zach LaVine and the young guys on that team know, hey, we mean business. We're going to try to get this done. We're not pinching pennies, which the Bulls have been previously accused of. The moves that they made, I thought, were really solid. They needed a toughness and a physicality. And, boy, with Vucevic and Theis, I can't imagine two guys that were available that could bring that to you in a bigger and better way. So I think the Bulls solidified that they're going to be a playoff team this year, and that's saying a lot for considering where the franchise has been the last few years.
How do you like Victor Oladipo in Miami? I mean, I think they're better, but they kind of have a log jam on that perimeter now. You got a lot of guards there.
Yeah, it's. I think what they're hoping is that Vic can get back to the go-to guy at crunch time that he once was. That they can be the matchup nightmare with the game on the line, because that to me was what they were really missing last year and continue to miss. And I don't think Vic is there yet. Didn't demonstrate it when he got back in Indy. Who knows? I mean, it's hard to figure out like what he was in Houston because they were just collectively so bad. I think that's what they're hoping he can get back to and provide them, because Jimmy Butler has been great, but he's just not a go-to guy with the game on the line. He's going to work his way to that mid-range, but certain matchups he's going to struggle against, and there's going to be no need to double-team him. I think they're hoping that Vic can force that and that he'll be that missing element. But it is definitely a wait and see as far as what Vic is going to be. The nice thing is they really didn't have to give anything of significance up in order to find out. So it's a worthwhile roll of the dice.
Rick, we got about 45 seconds for this one. But Houston, I mean, now giving up James Harden, they got Avery Bradley, who's going to be bought out, Kelly Olynyk, a couple other no-names, and some draft picks to show for it. I mean, to me, this is a travesty what they've turned James Harden into.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. I think the difficulty is they got a bigger issue on their hand. I get where they've tried to collect as many draft picks as possible. They've got, once you get that stink on you that great players don't want to play for your franchise, it's hard to get that off. And so, anybody that they were going to bring in that wasn't on a long-term deal was probably not going to want to be there. And even the guys who weren't going to be there. So they've got to hit the reset button, and they're in a tough world. But if you're going to do it, you're going to draft that talent and convince them why you're not such a bad place after all. That's what they have ahead of them.
All right, that's our man Rick Bucher. Great stuff,
Thanks,
man.
Rick.
We appreciate it.
My pleasure, guys.
All right, brother.
Down the road.
Yep, peace. All right, more Odd Couple coming your way. Keep it locked. Fox Sports Radio.
Be sure to catch live editions of The Odd Couple with Chris Broussard and Rob Parker. Weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio and the iHeartRadio app.
Get ready for a road trip unlike any other. On the podcast Haunted Road, join Amy Bruni, star of the hit TV show Ghost Hunters, for a guided tour of America's most haunted locations and hear from the expert paranormal investigators who've experienced these places firsthand.
You'll be in the building all alone and you'll hear conversations down the hallways. It'll be more than one person. When you're in that building, it just really feels like something's just standing over your shoulder.
Hear true tales of chilling encounters.
Then I saw a full-fledged shadow figure stand right in the doorway of the room. And as soon as I pointed it out, you actually saw the shadow run.
And discover the dark secrets of our country's most active paranormal sites.
Everywhere on this planet where something horrible has happened, it leaves that negative imprint. This place had an atom bomb of negative energy dropped on it.
Listen to Haunted Road with Amy Bruni on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's Willie D. Thanks, Mob. Here to share some new info about our new podcast, Ghetto Boys Reloaded. Each and every week, we bring to you episodes featuring some of the most iconic figures in hip-hop, politics, entertainment, and more. You don't want to miss it. Each and every Monday, listen to the Ghetto Boys Reloaded podcast on the Black Effect Podcast Network, the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcast, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
It's your girl, Nyla Simone.
And I'm Mouse Jones.
Here to share some exciting info about our new podcast, The What? Hip-hop questions, legends, and lists. Each week, The What poses an unanswered yet nagging question discussed in hip-hop circles
and group chats.
and we help you find the answers.
That's right. You don't want to miss it. Each and every Monday, you can catch The What on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Now, what show is this? It sounds like Funky Flashback Friday.
Well, CB, I'm glad you asked, because Mr. Parker sent me a message and say, Alex, somebody just hit me up and said, can you play the ED from Jujutsu Kaisen? Did you know what that is, CB?
No, never heard of it.
Well, it is one of the year's biggest anime from last year. This is actually the ED song, the outro song, and it won Song of the Year in 2020 on Crunchyroll, my guy.
That's right. So we're always trying.
Yes, if you want to get all the inside, just Weeb Nation Podcast.
I'm an avid listener to the Weeb Nation podcast.
CB, I already sent you a shirt.
Is it TV theme song Thursday or anime theme song Thursday?
Attaboy.
Can I get high listening to the Weeb podcast?
Yeah, we call that Weeb After Dark, Rob. We got you.
Okay, I'm just saying Weeb, lay off the Weeb. No,
we have a lot of dad jokes, too. You'd love it.
It is the Odd Couple, Chris and Rob, coming to you live from the Farmers Insurance Fox Sports Radio studios. Call 1-888-FARMERS, and you could save a bundle on your car insurance. We just talked about it with Rick Bucher, Rob. Miami, they go get Victor Oladipo. And, look, I think it makes them better. I mean, they got a lot of guards. They got Tyler Hero. Jimmy Butler is a shooting guard. Tyler Hero and Kendrick Nunn and Duncan Robinson, they're all basically shooting guards. And now you add in Victor Oladipo. It's just going to be interesting to see how it works. Nice little move. If he plays well there, you probably sign him. Okay. But, Rob, to me, this doesn't – they don't become a major factor to me in the Eastern Conference. I get what they did last year. I'm writing it off as a fluke. I'm just going to call it like it is.
No, I mean this year proved that it was a fluke. I'm sorry so far. I mean, like they didn't hold on to anything from last year, did they?
As far as the way they've played?
The way they played.
No,
no. That's what I'm saying. Not the personnel, but I mean, like if they had really made that move, Chris, they wouldn't have been in the hole that they were in. I know they've played better.
They've been better, especially with Jimmy Butler. But then they've come back to earth even with him on the floor. They've lost 4 straight. They're the 5th seed in the East. And, I think you got 3 teams in the East that are head and shoulders above everybody else. And that's Brooklyn, Philadelphia, and Milwaukee. And I don't think Miami joins that pack by getting Victor Oladipo.
I'm with you. I still don't see them. The 3 teams you mentioned, Milwaukee's on its way, Chris, playing much better, right? Milwaukee. Yep. So Milwaukee's in the mix. So I think those 3 teams are the 3 teams to look out for in the East. And I don't see Miami in that mix. I mean, I don't care where they finish. I just don't think they're considered a serious, legitimate contender the way that the top 3 that we talked about, Milwaukee and Brooklyn and Philadelphia. Those are the teams. And I'm impressed by Philadelphia that they're still winning, Chris, despite, not having their big man.
Right. Absolutely. And, they play a different way without him. But, Ben Simmons has played really well, and so have the rest of their guys. So you're right. You got to give them credit. Boston, Rob, it's hard to even fathom this. They're the 8th seed right now. The 8th seed in the East.
That's an indictment of both Danny Ainge and Brad Stevens. I'm serious, Chris. There's no reason that team –
no,
with the players they have,
2 legit all-stars.
Yes, who were in the All-Star game this year, they should not be the 8th seed. And I'm not ripping the Knicks, but really,
right?
Really, the Knicks are the Knicks are higher than the Celtics. Really?
Right.
Nah, I'm not buying it. Something's rotten in Denmark.
Yes, something is rotten in Denmark. And Rob, they added Evan Fournier today, which I like. I think that's a good move. I mean, it's not going to, it might help them move ahead of a few more of the also-rans. It's certainly not scaring any of the top contenders, but they get Evan Fournier. They give up 2 of their second-round picks. Finally, Danny Ainge parts with a couple of draft picks, but they're still not, anything to write home about. So, Boston is a big they're one of the biggest disappointments in the league. Because I did think I didn't think they were the best team in the East coming into the season, but I thought they would have a shot at getting to the finals. Now they're not even in that group anymore. All right, it's the Odd Couple, Chris and Rob. We got 2 hours left, and we will break things down. Keep it locked right here on Fox Sports Radio. Odd Couple, Chris and Rob.
This isn't just basketball. This is the NBA playoffs. And with William Hill Sportsbook, you can dial up the playoff intensity from the palm of your hand. Just download the William Hill mobile app, and your first bet of up to $500 is risk-free using promo code RadioRF. New users only. Must be 21 years or older and present in Virginia to bet. Paid and free bets. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call, text, or chat our confidential and toll-free helpline at 1-888-532-3500. William Hill Sportsbook, proud partner of the NBA. Let's make it interesting.
Hey friends, I'm Janet Varney, and I was the voice of Korra on The Legend of Korra.
And I'm Dante Bosco, the voice of Zuko on The Last Airbender and General Iroh on The Legend of Korra.
And we're your hosts for Braving the Elements, Nickelodeon's podcast celebrating all things Avatarverse.
We'll recap and discuss every episode of The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra. But the podcast is so much more than that.
We have amazing guests from all aspects of the series, from the creators to the cast to the other creative and brilliant minds behind all the things that make this universe so special.
Is it rude that whenever they describe a hybrid animal, I think about if it would be delicious or not?
Listen, I got the fire inside. Sugi got the fire inside that will never, ever die.
Whether you're a bender or a non-bender, everybody's welcome, even if you're not from the Fire Nation. So come hang out with us in the Avatarverse.
Listen to Avatar Braving the Elements on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Will you go penguin sledding with me?
Hey everyone, I'm Gigi Good.
And I'm Wembley Sewell.
And together, we are hosting the official companion podcast for the HBO Max original series, Generation.
In Generation, the podcast, Gigi and I are going to chat with the show's actors and writers, ultimately peeling back the many layers of the most complex generation ever.
Listen to Generation, the podcast on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.